by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
An arrest and more details tonight in connection with the murder that happened in Belgrade last Sunday. I have that report coming up.
No deal. President Trump rejects a bipartisan immigration proposal. It's a vulgar, racially charged quote from Mr. Trump that's getting all the attention. I'm Hannah Doba with more on what he said ahead.
Morning and welcome to your Friday. I'm Missy O'Malley. Chet Lehman with us here, and Matt will be along with our forecast in just a moment. Our top local story for you now. 5 days after a Belgrade woman was found shot to death, an arrest has finally been made in the case.
MTN's Morgan Davies has been following this story. She has the latest this morning.
Joseph DeWise was arrested this afternoon in connection with the murder that happened here on Idaho Street in Belgrade.
46-year-old Joseph DeWise is the estranged husband of Lauren DeWise, who was found dead in her home on Sunday, January 7th. According to charging documents, Joseph DeWise was Lauren's husband, who she asked for a divorce and moved out of their home in Bozeman and into the residence on Idaho Street. Witnesses told police that the day of the murder was when Lauren and Joseph were supposed to talk about divorce paperwork. Charging documents say that it was one of Lauren's roommates who found her after noticing the back door of their home looked like it had been broken into. The roommate also found Ashley Van Hemert, another roommate who was living with Lauren, in her room injured from being shot and calling out for help. Van Hemert has been hospitalized for her injuries, and we do not have an update on her condition, but she was listed as critical. Police interviewed friends and employers of Lauren DeWise. They received multiple accounts of when Joseph was violent with her. They noticed bruises on her body. Witnesses also told police that they knew Joseph owned firearms. Forensic evidence also pointed to Joseph as the killer. Police matched boot prints from behind the house on Idaho Street to ones at Joseph's house in Bozeman. They also found the same ammunition in Joseph's home that was used on Lauren and Ashley. Police arrested Joseph at a traffic stop without incident Thursday afternoon. He was charged with deliberate homicide, and his bond has been set at $1 million. Belgrade Police Chief E.J. Clark says they are expecting to file more charges against Joseph. He is set to appear in court Friday morning.
Reporting in Belgrade, Morgan Davies, MTN News.
Now, upon learning that this was a domestic violence case, our local Domestic Violence Resource Center Haven issued a statement on the murders. You can read that statement on kbzkkxlf.com, and we'll continue to update you this story as more news develops.
In other news on your Friday morning, the debate over immigration reform is being overshadowed by reports of presidential profanity in the Oval Office. Several lawmakers are calling the comments racist. This, as the president today will sign a declaration honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And Adoba explains.
After coming under fire for some racially charged comments he reportedly made about immigrants, President Trump, in a late-night tweet, defended his immigration priorities, writing in part, "It is my duty to protect the lives and safety of all Americans. We must build a great wall." The president's controversial comment came during a meeting with lawmakers on immigration. A source confirms to CBS News that Mr. Trump used an expletive to refer to Africa, Haiti, and El Salvador, saying, quote, "Why are we having all these people from blank countries come here?" The president then suggested the U.S. admit more people from countries like Norway.
An honor to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Whose prime minister he met with on Wednesday. Republicans and Democrats alike condemned Mr. Trump's remarks.
The statements of the president are reprehensible, they're racist.
Several lawmakers took to Twitter. Republican Senator Orrin Hatch wrote in part, "I look forward to getting a more detailed explanation regarding the president's comments." The Congressional Black Caucus tweeted, "Further proof that his Make America Great agenda is really a Make America White Again agenda."
We have in the White House someone who could lead the Ku Klux Klan.
The Haitian government has summoned the top-ranking U.S. diplomat there to explain the president's comments. Hannah Doba, CBS News, New York.
Now, the White House did not deny the president's reported remarks. A spokesperson released a statement that said, in part, quote, "Certain Washington politicians choose to fight for foreign countries, but President Trump will always fight for American people."
In other headlines this morning, residents of Montecito, California, still dealing with the aftermath of heavy rains caused by a massive mudslide.
Now, that mudslide destroyed homes and killed at least 17 people. It's left 43 others to be unaccounted for. CBS's Tom Waite is there with our latest.
On East Valley Road in Montecito, a haunting scene. In this muddy debris field is where two homes once stood. A section of one of those houses appears to be wrapped around a tree. Furniture and other belongings buried and crushed by tree trunks and rocks. On social media, a family member posted kids were missing from this area. And on Highway 192 nearby, more mind-boggling destruction. This open debris field was once a well-manicured road surrounded by trees and homes. It's been reduced to boulders and a river of mud and rocks. Homes that once stood here are barely recognizable.
My mind is still not wrapped around it. We're still processing this.
DJ Leonello was home with her two young kids when the terrifying storm barreled through.
It's just a really gnarly process that we're all going through. Yeah.
DJ and her husband's first thought was to protect their kids. The storm was raging.
Rushing, just thick water, it sounded like. Yeah. And then, of course, all the pops and crashes and ripping.
Their neighbors sought refuge in DJ's home.
About 3 households of people that came up covered in mud to our house because we live on higher ground. They were rescued by kayak, some by helicopter, I believe, and they just kind of took refuge at our house for a while. There was a 91-year-old woman, 92. She was so sweet.
Meanwhile, today, cadaver dogs were out once again with crews searching for missing victims. On Olive Mill Road, rescuers say one of the dogs alerted here, but nothing was found. All of these horrific scenes playing out as this community tries to begin to heal.
People's lives are going to be marked, like from this day forward, I feel like.
We're resilient and we will together. There's been a lot of good open conversations, and I think talking through the process is going to be huge.
Here is another area of concern for rescuers, the basement level of the Montecito Inn. Crews have been working to clear out all the mud and debris that swept down in there when these storms rolled through. The concern is that there are missing victims down inside of it, but rescuers are having a very challenging time getting it cleared so they can check. Tom Waite, CBS News, Montecito, California.
Oh my gosh, is all I can say about that.
It's amazing stuff.
Unbelievable. Interviewing people by boulders that floated into their yard. Ugh,
Houses up in trees.
Thankfully, we're not dealing with that here.
No, we're still dealing with a lot of issues. Most of it dealing with ice this morning. We're seeing some light snow at the studio this morning. Right now, I don't think snow is going to be the major impact when you put it on top of the ice. Yes, that becomes an impact. Look for ice conditions to be pushing the dangerous side for the morning. Go slow, people. Leave some extra time and watch out for your fellow neighbors that may be driving around as well. Temperatures into the 20s, 30s, depending on where you are, below zero from Great Falls back to the east, so that's something we'll watch. We'll see a little light snow off and on through the day today. I don't think snow's the big impact for most of us. We're going to talk more about those impacts coming out on the Billion Auto Weather patio here in just under 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. Coming up on 6:40, 4 people have filed for the seat of Butte District Judge that's being vacated by Brad Newman. District Judge Brad Newman announced earlier this week he will not run for re-election for the bench, which he's held since being elected in 2006. As of today, 4 candidates have filed for Newman's seat with the Security of the State's office. They include Brad Belkey, Timothy Dick, Wayne Harper, and Robert J. Whalen. The deadline to file is March 12th.
Of course, with yesterday being filing day, Democrats running for state and county seats in Gallatin County gathered at the Gallatin County Courthouse on Main Street to formally make their announcements. There were some familiar faces on courthouse steps yesterday, like Senator Jennifer Pomnikowski, who will be running for a 2nd term in the state Senate. House Representative Zach Brown, also an incumbent for his 3rd term in the House. A newcomer on the scene yesterday, Scott McFarland. He's currently an employee of the Belgrade School District. He will be taking on incumbent Republican Steve White for the Gallatin County Commission seat. For a full list of Democrats that announced their campaign yesterday, visit us online, kbzk-kxlf.com. Now, Gallatin County Republicans didn't stage a similar event for GOP candidates, but still have a full slate of mostly incumbents on the ballot. County Commissioner Steve White is joined by Kerry White, who is running for a state House seat, as well as Bruce Grubbs. On the national level, we have Troy Downing running against incumbent U.S. Senator John Tester, as well as Congressman Greg Gianforte, who will also be seeking re-election.
We're so glad to have you with us here on this Friday morning when Montana This Morning returns after a quick break. We've been following the Consumer Electronics Show all week in Vegas. Today, we take a look at the robots stealing the show. Some are a little bit creepier than others.
Ooh. But first, here's Nora O'Donnell with a look at your developing stories at 7 o'clock on CBS This Morning.
Lawmakers for both sides condemn President Trump's disparaging words for immigrants from Haiti and Africa. We're in South Africa with reaction, and we'll also talk with Bob Schieffer. And would you get in a car that didn't have a steering wheel or a brake pedal? Well, we're going to give you a look at the self-driving car GM says it's ready to build now. We'll see you right at 7.